I have to say the cover for Let's Party is one of my favourites. This is the 8th book in the Two of a Kind series, based on the Mary-Kate and Ashley TV show, or perhaps the other way around. And these are my guilty pleasure. I read them as a child. I read them now to just escape back into the past, and I still love the Olsens. This book I don't actually remember from my childhood, but having read it now as an adult, it's fun. It's good fun. Basically, Mary-Kate and Ashley Burke are having 2 parties in their house on the same night. Mary-Kate's is having one in the basement for her friend Amanda, and Ashley's having one upstairs for her best friend Jennifer. And as you can imagine, the parties are going to be very different. Ashley's is going to be very sophisticated, semi-formal. Mary-Kate's has cheesy popcorn and twister. They're very different. But in typical Burke style, things begin to go wrong quite quickly when guests are not saying that they're going to the party, and there are other potential stumbling blocks along the way. And both twins have to try and make sure that everything goes to plan and that they are able to throw these 2 surprise parties while also getting Jennifer and Amanda to the house on time, on the right date. Nothing is plain sailing. I like the narrative. I think it's fun because it's about a party. It's obviously very fun and entertaining. It's not that depressing. I guess none of them really are. But for example, the one that came before this, or just before this, To Snoop or Not to Snoop, is quite dark. It's about them suspecting something bad has happened to their neighbour. Whereas this one is fun from the get-go. I did worry that it was going to be a little bit over the top. I don't want to spoil too much. I don't really know if I can spoil this kind of book. But basically, there's something that Mary-Kate wants to try and do, and she enlists Carrie's help to try and ensure that everybody comes to Amanda's party rather than going to Jennifer's. And I thought, this is over the top. This will never work. They can't go ahead with this and do this. And I was so worried they were going to take it in one direction and make it unbelievable to the extreme. But actually, I thought it all worked out pretty well, and I was quite happy with the development of the story. There were quite a lot of stumbling blocks for them, which is a bit over the top, but it's a two-of-a-kind book. It's kind of what you expect. I enjoyed it. There is a bit of a twist at the end, which I will say because I'm sure you're aware of these books, but actually the next book is the first in the Two-of-a-Kind Diaries series, where the girls go off to White Oak Academy boarding school, and we begin to, we get to have a different approach where it's written as diaries for a large part of it, and I think that epistolary approach is very interesting. I have read some of the diary ones, but certainly not all of them, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what it's like and kind of reminiscing and re-reminding myself, I guess. Let's Party is good fun. It's definitely worth reading if you like the Two-of-a-Kind books. As I said, I read these to escape, and it took maybe half an hour to read, maybe 40 minutes, give or take. It's just under 100 pages. It's fun. It's nothing incredible, not my favourite in the series, but the cover, as I said, probably is one of my favourites. I do love it very much. It's a nice, fun book.